Hello, everyone. Compliments of the season. I trust you all having a really interesting time. In today's video, I'll be talking on a really interesting yet very, very essential topic. Uh, Here is one major misconception, especially with us young people. If you're watching this video and you've set out to live a purposeful life, you've set out to live a life of, say, character, and you've been putting in a lot of work, you've been disciplined, you've been committed to carving a path, a significant path for yourself. You're making sacrifices, practicing what we call delayed gratification, sacrificing, laying the foundation for a better future. And let's say you are not currently having the most fun, and I want to correct one mindset that might be very devastating to you if you don't correct. One of the most important aspects of your life you need to work on, pay close attention to, will be your motive, the motive behind everything you do. Um, if you have the wrong motive, you could be doing something great, something really nice, but at the end of the day, you won't really get the fulfillment and the satisfaction that you're supposed to actually get if you are doing things with the right motive. So if you're setting out to, say, maybe live a morally upright life, and the reason you're doing this is because you want to be liked, you want to be loved, you want to be celebrated, and you want to be the people's man, basically. I'm sorry to bust your bubble, but that is actually a very shallow motive. And I'll be drawing wisdom in today's short talk from a podcast I listened to, of course, the Maxwell podcast. The title of the podcast is The 10 Stages of a Successful Dream. And from Maxwell's teachings, I learned that every dream, of course, if you are a purpose-driven youngster, I want to believe that you have a dream and you want to be successful at that dream. So everyone dreams, okay? And if you're watching, I believe you are pretty ambitious. But if you are dreaming, or you have set out to follow the path you're currently on, and your motive, the reason you're doing that is because you want to be loved, you want to be celebrated, you want to be liked by everyone, then you just listen to what Maxwell has to say about successful people. So the 10 stages of successful dreams are as follows. Number one is called the I thought it stage. At this stage, basically, you are still conceiving the dream. So the exact point where the dream drops in your heart is called the I thought it stage. And then we have the I caught it stage. The third stage is the I bought it stage. Here you are beginning to truly buy into the dream, the vision. And number four is called a few shot at it. Now, these first four stages are the preliminary stages of your dream. Okay, the early stages, the formative years of your dreams and your aspirations. Okay, so the fourth stage says a few shot at it. What that means is, at the foundational parts of your dream, the first few people who will be aware of your dream, either by you telling them about this dream, or just drawing from the fact that you share the same space with such people. If you are a truly visionary person, like someone like myself, my siblings and a few family friends and loved ones that I share I share the same space with on a daily basis. They know the things I'm about, and they know the things I'm into, and of course they know my dreams and my aspirations. Okay. So the reason this is a really critical stage of your life is that you begin to experience at the fourth stage, basically the a few shot at it stage, people begin to criticize, people begin to attack your dream. And this is a really critical stage, because the only people that are aware of your dream are your loved ones, are your friends, sometimes your best friends, your teachers, and your mentors. So your critiques at this stage are people you care about, people whose opinions matter to you a lot. That's why you need to develop the maturity, develop the character to be able to navigate through this particular phase. The fifth stage of a successful dream, of course, based on John Maxwell's teaching, is I sought it stage. Here, the drive to actually go after these dreams intensifies. Okay, the sixth stage is called the I got it stage. Of course, as the phrase implies, I got it. This is the beginning where you begin to to see the materialization of your dreams. All right. The seventh stage is called more people fought it stage. uh I believe this is actually self-explanatory. Okay, we are saying more people begin to attack your dream. They begin to criticize. They begin to. Everybody begins developing an opinion about your dreams and your aspirations. So you can imagine if you are setting out to live a positive life. People your age are probably having fun, doing all the fun stuff in life, getting high. Maybe getting into multiple relationships, and you have a lot of potential. You are not someone who is bad looking. You're someone who is possibly talented and intelligent, but you are choosing to walk the lonely road of character and discipline. You will have to work on your motive, or else when you get to this stage of your dream called the more people fought at this stage, of course, I believe you can already see that from the fourth stage, the preliminary, the early stages of your dream, as long as you want to stick your neck out and say, okay, I want to stand for something, no matter how positive you might think that thing will be, you would definitely develop, critiques and naysayers and enemies and people who will just look at you and dislike you just for the sake of the success you are beginning to experience. So it's no coincidence that the more people fought at it stage comes right before the sixth stage, which of course I say is the I got it stage. Okay, at that stage, your dream begins to materialize. When you are at the first few stages of your dream, most times you appear like some lunatic that has some outrageous dreams and aspirations. When you dream, when you share your dreams and your aspirations with people, they begin to look at you and be like, what in the world is this one talking about? And but when you develop the character, the resiliency and the discipline to press on, and you arrive at the stage where the dream begins to materialize, you get critiques, you get naysayers and all of that. So if you are not mentally prepared for this, if you have that mindset that you are living a good life because you want everyone to like you, then I'm sorry, you might want to rethink that. So the subsequent stages of successful dreams are stage number 8, the I taught it stage. Taught in this case as in the past tense of teach. Okay, you begin to have mentees, guide other people down to replicate the same results that at this period have begin to materialize based on your dreams. And then of course, stage number 9, we have the we brought it stage. This is when you, your mentees, and your community, which is beginning to expand, now take that dream and they reach out to a larger audience. And then finally, we have the many got it stage. Okay, at this point, this is of course already a successful dream. All right, so the top lesson you want to take away from our short conversation today is, regardless of what you're going into, regardless of the level of character, discipline, and consistency you are developing, regardless of the level of the amount of sacrifices you are practicing in your life, you have to be prepared to face criticism at two levels. During the preliminary stages of your dreams, the early stages of your dreams, you will be criticized. Okay, sometimes you might even get some unexpected discouraging words from your family, from your close allies, your best friends, and all of that. So you will need the character, you will need the wisdom and the resiliency to be able to navigate through that phase. And you will also receive criticism, loads of it, right after the I got it stage, when your dreams, when the light begins to shine, when it becomes obvious that your dream will make sense, even if in the long run you see people's attention get drawn to you. And sometimes even the people who were clapping for you, celebrating you, you get to a point, I learned from my experience that you will get to a point where you become successful. At that point, you get fans, you get supporters, people will applaud you, but you will then get to a level where your success becomes really, really obvious, and it's one achievement after the next achievement after the next achievement. Right at this point, that's when you will notice that even those who were applauding you would begin to rethink, and they begin to question your results, and everyone goes like, are you the only one existing? Just yesterday, you celebrated this, and today you are saying you have another blessing, and next tomorrow you are saying you have another blessing. And at this stage, you see that fans, supporters, close allies will begin to harbor some level of jealousy, some level of discontent, some level of contempt, some level of, deep-seated jealousy and hatred towards you. So you at the end of the day, I believe there's another important lesson you need to take away from our conversation this evening, and it has to be that you prepare yourself for, aside the criticism, of course, you need to develop discipline and, resiliency, because it won't be easy seeing people sometimes who you care about criticizing you, trying to discourage you, trying to put you down. So you must develop the intensity, the character, and the resolve to weather the storms of discouragement. So work on your motive. Yeah, hold up, wait. I'm about to cause an insurrection. I promise y'all I'ma be quick. Supersonic speed I'm running.